Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Finals Game 1 of the DominateDominion Tournament number 103. The chat bands are Kha'Zix, Zyra, Thresh, and Vi. This Finals is a best-of-3 series, so you need to win 2 to secure the prize. And we'll see them starting momentarily here, I hope. Clicky clicky guys, let's do this. I want to eat my little dinner part. I have breadsticks. Yes, we're almost ready. There we go. Sure, I can do that, squirrel. I'll do that for you right now. There you go. This will be our scripts are primed versus the Goon squad. Wait, Wukong is also going to be banned? This left team is... Okay. Do I have that? Yes, I do. Yeah, okay. There we go. Okay. Lulu being banned as well, and then Fizz being banned after that. We'll see who they decide to kick out of the lineup next. As the clock is ticking down. Leona! I want to get Practice Yellow away from that Leona because he is pretty scary with that champion. Pantheon. Pantheon's being taken out as well. Let's see who's going to be next. Who's going to be the last ban for game 1 of these finals? There are so many options. But the time to look through those options is quickly disappearing. Maokai. Maokai is also an excellent ban in ultra rapid fire mode. Because no. Just no. So Practice Yellow is going to pick up Nidalee first for the team. Quick lock in on that. Nidalee has excellent poke, which makes it difficult. You cannot capture a point 1v1 against a Nidalee. You have to wait till someone else shows up. Because if she has range on you, she's just going to chuck spears. It's a character you literally cannot 1v1. Maybe Nocturne can get in, because he has long enough gap closer. So we're going to see LeBlanc. Interesting. LeBlanc, lots of damage. It's a pretty good engage and escape ability. And even though she's usually very, very fragile, typically she can destroy whoever she's targeting before they're able to do anything back to her. And Jarvan, the fourth, being locked in. Jarvan can spawn terrain. He has an airborne, does a bunch of damage as well. All around good pick to have on this map. He's probably one of the most picked champions in total in Dominion competition, along with Maokai and Jaina I'd probably say those are up there in like the top 3 characters used in competition. But they hardly ever eat bans because there's far scarier things than those champions. So we're seeing Talon being picked as well. No Namer locking that in for his team. Talon does a lot of damage. It's kind of hard to argue with that. And the resets. The resets. The resets. Alright. So it looks like somebody had a connection issue. And we just need to get them put back in here. As soon as we figure out what's really going on, I will tell you. Oh, hey, Devil Joe, thanks for posting that. If anyone ever plays Ashe in a tournament and they get a kill with a volley, I want you to be like that. I think that'd be pretty funny. Alright, it looks like Mike's router decided to pee the bed, but he's back in the game now. And we should be going back into Champ Select right now. There we go. Error loading title. Don't give me that error message. Yeah. I will ban the entire chat. Moloko dude is allergic to fun. So is Zerzul. But in the end, they are still mods, so whatever they say, we gotta do. Except me, because I'm a mod, but will I lead you guys down a bad path of getting timeouts from the chat. Do my emotes work yet? Okay, they're fixed now. Okay. Alright, so there's the Nid. This is going to be J4 and something. Well, you're right. They may have clicked back the bans a little bit differently. But as long as I don't pick one of the champions that was banned in game 1, it'll be fine. Otherwise, it's going to turn into a paperwork nightmare. Nobody likes a paperwork nightmare. Especially not tournament administrators. Alright. So it looks like that is going to be a LeBlanc pick. And we're going to see Talon. We're going to see Warwick as well. Warwick's a character that was very, very popular Definitely early in Dominion's history. But he's only been here hit and miss since then. One of the best Poppy players, or was also one of the best Warwick and Wukong players, Idalee. She was one of the top tier players that we had. She played for Blind Pick Banditos, and her Poppy, Warwick, and Wukong were awesome. And I think she's played the most of Warwick that we've seen. I know Dominate Gaming's owner, the Feedski's played some Warwick as well, and has played some LeBlanc in competition. And I'm trying to think of who else are Warwick players. I'm pretty sure Cheese and I had a Warwick player also. I don't know who else. If anyone else has been an old guard, been around like I have, who was playing Warwick a lot back in early 2012? Not early, mid 2012. We're seeing Rammus and Sona locked in as well. Rammus is a good tank. Actually, Rammus is a great tank. His only weakness is that sometimes it's difficult for him to engage on targets because he doesn't have a jump or a gap close or anything like that. Oh, for Drew. That's right. And Katia, you weren't around in competition back then. You don't count. You came in later. We have Sona. Good support character, does a lot of damage. Floaty, very quiet. Dofty, I am Gandair of the Gaming Clan Vato Clan. I am the commentator here for DominateDominion number 103. And we're going to see Amumu+Morgana. New V3 bottom lane Morg is pretty awesome. One of the few Morgana players that we have floating around. I know William Swiftfoot also plays some Morgana, but not at as high level of competition as New V3 does. Those are the only two Morgs that I can think of off the top of my head. I think Mike's played it a few times. If you really need to deal with a Lulu, Morgana is pretty useful against her because of Black Shield. It really helps your allies be resistant to all of the stuff that she can do. Yes, Katia, I completely agree. Your Ahri and Confidaris' Ahri are probably the best two in the community, at least to my knowledge. And Amumu is a great tank. Does a lot of damage as well. Lots and lots of AoE damage. Good crowd control. The only problem is that ult range radius reduction that happened way back. That's still really hurtful to this day on him. The other thing is if he's not letting banish toss, he's not doing anything. So he's another one of those characters that is really good, like Rammus, but both of those champions tend to struggle a little bit with their engages. Once they get in, though, they're real solid. And then we are seeing a Misfortune. Misfortune has some fair zoning ability. Other than that, she does a lot of damage, similar to the other ADCs, but she's extremely fragile and has very poor escape. While Ashe can stun and Varus can snare, Misfortune doesn't have anything going on. She just has to hope. And then we're going to get into the spectator delay soon. And then I will have to talk for 3 minutes about these things that I've already sort of talked about. So if anybody has any questions about anything that's going on in the stream about Dominion in general, or just, questions about anything that are safe for work and not awkward, feel free to post in the chat. Even Kate has a little bit of an escape. She has that backdash. Misfortune is a champion that we don't see too much of. We also don't see a lot of Ashe. I think Northpaw has played Ashe here and there. So I think it's Northpaw. Yeah, pretty sure that's who it was. I played her in a few tournaments. Because I remember there was a bounty on hit landing a cross-map arrow. Mario Flames asks, how do you win Dominion? You make the enemy's nexus reach 0. Next question. Reading Corval's guide also helps you win Dominion. Can I beatbox? No. Let's just say no to that one. I guess we can take off the summoner spell blockers now. There we go. We can take a look at everybody's running. So many flashes. A lot of flashes floating around. And over the other side, we're seeing a lot of Exhaust Ignite. So, a couple utility things. Nidalee with a barrier. Nidalee with a barrier. Now, that's something we don't see very often. Check out that barrier. There you go. Shields champion for 115 to 155, depending on champion level, for 2 seconds. Is Tank Gragas is if a viable, or if available? Like, I don't even. I don't know about Tank Gragas with his recent changes. Gandair, how do you explain the absence of the other Avengers in the new Captain America movie? Okay, well, you see, Captain America and Black Widow are doing their own thing in New York or wherever. Yeah, it's New York, I'm pretty sure. Now, why is Iron Man not there, you might ask? Well, if you remember, Iron Man's dealing with a bunch of crap, and his lab blew up. So he doesn't have his tech with him, and his house is destroyed. Where's Thor during all this? Did you see Thor the Dark World? Thor's literally in another dimension right now. Where's Hulk and Hawkeye? Well, they haven't gotten their movie yet. That's why the Avengers all aren't in the same place. How come Captain America didn't go help Tony Stark with the thing with the president? Because he was busy with all of the stuff going on in Captain America Winter Soldier. That's why he couldn't do it. So all of the Avengers are all in different places, dealing with all the stuff from their own respective movies. That's why you're not seeing them all together. Because all of the movies happen roughly at the same time. We're talking like within months of each other. So that's what's going on there. That's why he doesn't mysteriously go and bail out Captain America. Because he can't. He's busy. Where are Ant-Man and Wasp? I don't know. Alright, so the left-hand side team is going to be the Goon Squad, and the right-hand side team is going to be our scripts are primed. This is going to be Finals Game 1. Let's see. Alright. So this game, Finals Game 1 of Best of 3 series between these two teams. On Goon Squad's team, we have Practice Yellow playing as Nidalee, we have No Namer playing as Talon, Rage playing as Warwick, Corval playing as Amumu, and Noob V3 playing as Morgana. Over on the other team, on our Scripture Prime's team, we have Forgot the Icing playing as Jarvan IV, Sifu Calvin as LeBlanc, Love Peace Skeet playing as Rammus, Mad Sapro playing as Sona, and Snide Sentinel playing as Misfortune.
Welcome to the Crystal Skull.
Alright. Looks like Misfortune in the bottom lane. I like English Language 1's answer to Squirrel's question of, here's the real question, where are the rest of the Marvel heroes? Well, Ant-Man's busy abusing his wife, Spider-Man is being sad about something, the Fantastic Four are retconned out of existence. I just think Marvel has enough money. They should be able to buy Spider-Man and Fantastic Four and say, hey, you broke your films, we'll fix them for you. Just here, we're going to give you a bunch of money and we'll just take this off your hands forever. Alrighty. They changed Rammus's colors a while back. He's a little darker shading on his back part for his little tail piece or whatever the heck you want to call that. Both teams heading to the top part of the map. IV+LeBlanc heading up first with that speed aura. Spears being thrown down. Alright, forgot the icing taking some damage. Looks like he is going to be able to get back away. Oh, Corval is going to intercept him. Force him around back the opposite direction. Rammus staying alive for quite a while. Forgot the icing exhausted. And Corval is finally going to go down. Sifu Calvin is retreating. No Namer doesn't buy into the fake. Goes ahead, flash over, rake on Sifu, and is going to be able to take him down with one last auto attack. LoveP Skeet back up at the fight. They had almost gotten the point captured, but and they were interrupted before able to completely finish it. Manspool is going to retreat back, pick up the mana and health power up there. Put a little damage on Rage in the process. Got a little power cord going. Sifu Calvin showing back up, throwing the ethereal chains on practice yell. They don't have anyone to get through the Corval. There we go. Forgot the icing, diving through, getting the interrupt, keeping it down to a neutral point. Madspall's health is dangerously cheesy. No Namer going in, and Supportal is going to see, hey, there's a little health Talon here. He's going to pick up the killing blow on that. But, oh dear, the damage that was dealt to Sona. Sona gently putting down her instrument on the ground next to her so as not to break it for the next user. And the windmill is going to go over to the Goon squad. Sifu Calvin is a LeBlanc with a Storm Shield. That's frightening. Morgana is a misfortune killer. No Namer has been discovered. Sifu Calvin with the Storm Shield does some damage, but doesn't have any mana. No mana means you're gonna get hit by an Int Spear for more than half your health at level 5. Because that's how that works. Jarvan heading down to the bottom. Hanging out over there. Top part of the map, LoveP Skeet hanging out in the middle lane. A little bit of a safer thing to do for a tank than anybody else, but he's still going to be cut off from behind by Talon. Madsport is there to see it, so LoveP Skeet has some awareness of it. He's going to try to get away from there. Defensive ball curl is up. It's going to help him out with a little bit of damage, but overall he's dead before his teammate J4 shows up, so he doesn't have any ability to take advantage of that crowd control. Same thing, Sifu Calvin is here, but they don't have that Rammus to help them lock anybody down. You guys in the chat are really good at this, by the way. I've been reading it. You guys are on it. Hey, can Metroid take off his gun arm? Like, do we know? There's been a lot of games, but I don't think I've ever seen Metroid take off his gun arm. Morgana on the bottom lane is going to go back. She's got a Chalice going. Shows he has plenty of mana to play with. Misfortune going to open with that Hex Drinker first. It's going to help her out a little bit with that Morg. And you don't know how to use apostrophes. Corval being intercepted there a little bit. 4-on-1. They want to go through to practice yellow. They're not too concerned about Corval. They want to get that Nidalee down, but they'll take Corval if they can get him instead. But this is the thing about Nidalee. You have to keep someone threatening Nidalee. Otherwise, Nidalee, once she's been chased out of the fight, we'll just turn around and start throwing spears back into the fight like she's doing right now, because they were not able to get the kill. They were not able to stick anyone on her to threaten her into continuing to retreat, that she's able to just turn around and chuck spears. It's a situation you don't want to find yourself in if you can help it. Meanwhile, Rammus is going to get the neutral, but not the full capture because of Rage's presence. Oh, the ethereal chains is not quite long enough. Everybody remember that when you play Amumu. Ooh, Madsport with the slow. Wants to stay in range of practice yellow a little bit here so that he does not get hit by a full strength spear. Chasing after Rage. I don't think you can catch a Warwick. Like, Warwick's going to be fast for basically no reason. Top part of the map, practice yellow. And Rammus hanging out. Hello, Charlie Shiv. And Warwick is finally picked up. A lot of recalls going down at the top part of the map. It's going to be J4 versus the world up here by himself. He's against Amumu and Nidalee. And Nidalee's really good at harassing people off points. Talon here as well. They may have to let this point go. It's going to be tricky for Forgot the Icing to hold on to this. You can't get through the Corval. Taking a lot of damage. Gets the interrupt to keep it neutral, but with everybody else leaving, he really didn't have any way to keep that rolling. We're all going to move on to the... What? Guys, one at a time, please. Please keep picking that up. Morgana is dead. LeBlanc, Sifu, Calvin is on a killing spree, it looks like, with 3 kills. There we go. She's going to get picked up. Bomb point is under their control now. They are, however, going to lose the drill in the exchange. And refinery is... so they have the top half of the map captured, something that's a little unusual, but occurs. Goon squad with that going on for them. They have Sona on the opposite side of the map, spotting for Warwick, making sure that he knows where the his opponent's going to end up. So that way if he sees, hey, Warwick's going to head down to the bottom, I'm going to go with him. Ooh, nice bandage toss from Corval. Tags Rammus and interrupts that powerball. Team fight. There's that crowd control. Lots of group crowd control going on. Sifu Calvin with a good distortion back, though. He's kind of freaking out a little bit. No Namer's right there. He just needs one good cutthroat to take down Sifu. Is he going to get it? He goes for the rake. Oh, he was looking for that cutthroat. He turned around, but they were able to put him down before it went off. Nidalee up at the top. Oh, that interrupt. The interrupts are pretty brutal. Whoa. Maximum fear. Nidalee's spears should heal if they're thrown from right in front of her. That'd be really funny. Bottom part of the map, Snide Sentinel. It doesn't look like he can DPS his way out of this because Misfortune does not have an escape mechanic. The only way she can get out of that is to kill her way through it. Unfortunately, she was able to kill Morgana in the process. And there's the interrupt from Forgot the Icing, but the minions are still able to kick it over to a neutral. Corval, are you going to get out of there? Corval? Yes, he is going to barely escape, but it looks like he has triggered some sort of shield on Amumu. What was it? Oh, it was Morg's black shield that was thrown on him. I like Devil Joe's logic in the chat as Noob V3 is barely able to escape, but still in dark binding range. Lands one, Forgot the Icing as he was moving away. And there's the bullet time! Yeah! Taking Corval down right on the stairs. Not quite able to get back to base. LeBlanc at the top part of the map is going to try and recover the windmill for them. They're devoting a lot of resources down here to this bottom point. This seems to be where the action's been at for most of the tournament. Trying to get the refinery captured as well, but no. Rage is not going to have any of that. Boop! Oh, wow, that swipe was... That was not prepared for the amount of damage that Rage just did with that swipe. Oh dear, Sifu Calvin has activated Nidalee's trap card. But it's okay, it's only a chain speed 2 trap, you don't have anything to worry about. Alright, take the bottom part of the map. A little bit of Make It Rain. So that's good for zoning, her ult's good for zoning, but other than that, she can't really get in close. She dies a little bit too easy. This viewer, Rage, gonna be caught and taken down. Alright, we have Amumu and Practice Yellow with Nidalee hanging around this part of the map. Have their allies, Sifu's allies, coming up from the bottom here. Looks like No Namer is going to be forced out of the fight. Can't do a lot there, unfortunately. Noob V3 hitting the ultimate is going to not catch Sifu. Sifu's barely able to leash at the last moment. And able to dash in, do some damage, and get away. Noob V3's Morgana not doing so well this game. Corval, okay. Practice Yell wants to get those spears in. See Mad's Pro moving. Oh, Sifu, you were so close to being dead there. The problem with retreating away from Nidalee is that you just give her more damage as you try to get away. Snide Sentinel closed in, able to take down Amumu. There we go. There's that puncturing taunt. It's going to happen on Rage there, so that suppress isn't going to land on anyone anytime during that, which means Snide Sentinel was free to put the DPS over on Nidalee. And with that having already been accomplished, Warwick uses Suppress to jump over onto Sona instead. Top part of the map, very, very neglected right now. Looks like Sona's heading out in that direction because you can't leave it open for too long. Otherwise, someone on the enemy team is just going to run over there and start taking buildings away from you. So that 3-man push down here on the bottom. Looks like Nidalee around on the back as well. Amumu trying to go up top. Sona's spotted for it. Watching out for the top part of the map. Head straight up there to interfere with him to make sure that he can't quite get through. There's the bullet time. Gets a lot of damage in on Rage. But they weren't able to get Nuke V3 to stop the neutral from occurring. So now they're still fighting over a neutral tower. There's the Dark Binding. Snide Sentinel, don't do it! It's not worth it to risk it. You don't need laser eye surgery. Your eyes work just fine. Yeah, 2-man going across for the drill. Looks like Sifu Calvin is going to be the first one across to respond to that. But what's he going to be able to do about it, though? Oh dear. Distortion's back. Snare on Corval. Needs to get closer in to chase Practice Yellow away, but looks like Rammus to be in time to do that. Sifu Calvin with the good interrupt. One piece Skeet chasing Practice Yellow away, so Practice Yellow can't stand around chucking spears. Sifu Calvin slowly chipping away at Corval, but taking basically his entire mana to pool to do so. So after this happens, gets a little bit of mana back. So we got about 150 to play with. Oh, now he's got more to play with, actually. Just stacking back up there. That mana Regan kicking in. Pretty good for him. No neighbor has to retreat from this. Can't do too much on his own. And Nidalee coming back with the spears. Snide Sentinel being suppressed by Warwick. Means Snide Sentinel should go down quickly. There we go. Is picked up. Forces Sona and Jarvan back away. 2 tanky champions and good support without an AD carry to support, though. So it does do a fair bit of damage herself. But there's better sustained damage out of Misfortune when she's actually present at the fights. LeBlanc heading up to the top part of the map. Amumu is nope. Other piece Skeet's like, I don't have it. Starts to back off. Has a second thought. You're just standing right there next to him. Like, really? Mad Spoil is going to be defeated up the top part of the map. Sifu. Oh man, Sifu. You're doing some kind of business here. Now the suppress isn't up. Not sure if Sifu's aware of that or not. But he's going to go for the recall. Sifu, you have plenty of mana. Warwick can see you. Him being able to see you makes your presence worthwhile because he has to respond to you. Oh, the deal chains! Not quite! Not quite. Warwick is able to outrun the speed of magic and get away from that. Rammus goes for a little bit of a back cap, only gets 3/4 before Practice Yellow's Nidalee is able to show up and stop that from happening. Sona heading down and in the lower part of the map. Has her speed activated. Could speed Rammus up a little bit. Oh dear. Dark Binding lands on supportal. Simple Calvin coming down from the top. Wants to turn Practice Yellow into paste. Sona able to help with the assist. Simple with the assist. Sona picking up the KB. Leaves them open to take this bottom point. It has already been slightly captured by Rammus. There's no one in range going to hold it anyway. Rage puts some hurt on Sifu, but the ultimate with no one to follow up on it doesn't really accomplish much. Sifu doesn't have a lot of mana going here, though. Cataclysm boxes him and takes him out. Sifu is retreating. Warwick can see him. And he is able to get out okay. Was able to get far enough back in that fight. Rage taking a little bit of damage. Moves in, but gets cut off by Snide Sentinel. And killed by Jarvan. And No Namer and Snide Sentinel are going to have a little bit of a disagreement down here. Oh, that Nidalee Spear doing quite a bit of damage. Forgot the icing there. Rage diving through, but Rage having his suppress on cooldown still. And this means that our Scripture Prime is going to pick up the first game of this Best of 3 series. All right. I should take a look at the post-game numbers for this game. Come on, clicky, there we go. And take a look at time spent dead. Morgana actually in the lead there. Alright, we're going to go set up the next game, and I'll bring it to you in just a moment.